Everyone, Sampath here. I have Neil and Stephen from Kyvio with me. Hey Neil, hey Stephen.
Hey Sampath.
Hello.
Guys, can I get a hi? Can we get a hi? Okay, great. Super. Great. So we have a lot of you joining us. Perfect.
That's good.
Yeah, keep them coming. So we are going to have a detailed walkthrough of Kyvio. Neil will be walking us through the Kyvio, the whole platform, and followed by a couple of use cases of how Kyvio can be acted as a landing page builder, specifically if you guys are not into building funnels or just looking for a good landing page builder. And most of you would like to know how Kyvio is different from Symfony, which is like $1 million question today. So Neil will be explaining us each and every single thing, and we will have an AMA regarding Kyvio. You cannot ask for Neil's Tinder profile or something. So we'll have an AMA regarding Kyvio after the walkthrough session. So Neil, it's your show now. Go on.
Thanks, Sampath. I appreciate that. So hey everyone, this is Neil Napier and
Stephen Vanderpaal.
All right, so Stephen can't hear anything Sampath was saying, but I think he'll follow along. Today we're going to do a good walkthrough of Kyvio for you, show you exactly how it works and under what circumstances you can use it. And Stephen and I will both answer some of the questions as well and talk about how it's applicable in your business in various different ways. Now, I've never used this platform before, which is Napier. So if I struggle with anything technically, I do apologize. And my camera that I have hooked up tends to shutter off and shutter on every 2-3 minutes or so. So you might lose me for a second, but don't worry, I am here. And if you do lose the video, don't worry, we will do a lot of screen sharing today and show you inside Kyvio platform and also explain how everything fits together. But before I do that, I want to tell you a little bit about a background story, how we got to where we are and where we are going as well after this. And I think Stephen can perhaps talk a little bit later about some technical aspects of Kyvio, how we keep everything scalable and secure. But I want to talk about how we got to this stage where we are at the moment. So some of you might already know me, but if you don't, I'm Neil Napier. And a lot of you think that just because, some of us launch products on JVZoo, it's all vaporware. We don't think of our business like that. We have built our business over the last 5 years on the back of building some exceptionally good products that get people results, and those products still work. The only ones that don't work because Facebook deprecated the API and we just couldn't use it the way they were originally designed to, so we had to close them down. It was a big fiasco a few years ago. A lot of other different products, or similar products rather, got shut down as well. But since then, we have evolved to a point where we are now on only one core software, which is Kyvio. In fact, that kind of changed when Stephen came on board in our company. That was 2 years ago, 1.5 years ago.
Something like that.
Yeah, where I think you had this vision of just working on one thing and improving that one thing day in, day out, right?
Smart platform. That's exactly where we're going to right now. We'll talk a little bit more about that in the coming hour or so. But yeah, that's our main focus in Kyvio. Is everything we do right now. It's our life. That's why I'm here in Finland, sitting next to Neil. I just flew over to do some very important planning and just talk about Kyvio and talk a little bit more about Kyvio.
Exactly. I've been, I usually go to bed at 10 p.m., but I've been staying up till 2-3 a.m. in the morning just discussing our plans for the next year with Kyvio. But the thing is, originally, the way the idea came to be was that some of you may know the name Susanna Teresia. She's an Indonesian marketer. She has a very good development team working with her, creating different kinds of products. And I remember I spoke to her 3 years ago. I was actually talking at an event in Indonesia that she organized. And she said that she had this grand vision of building something that was all encompassing because she already had some good products. What she wanted to do was edit them, but also bring them together and make them connect and make them talk to each other. So originally InstaSuite was born. I mean, the development on it started about, I think, 2 years and 8 months ago or so, right after she told me about the idea. And it first opened to the public about 18 months ago or so. That was still in beta at that time. And since then, the product has evolved to a point where now it's called Kyvio. And Susanna isn't part of the project anymore because She has health issues. She wanted to be bought out from her shares. So Stephen and I did that a few months ago. I mean, we spent over 6 figures just acquiring the product rights from her, which was, maybe I shouldn't tell you, a lot of our own personal savings as well. So we are fully committed to what Kyvio can do. And again, it's because of Stephen's vision to do with smart products and our vision to focus on one thing, we are able to confidently sell something that we know that we can continue to support and grow for a long, long time to come. In fact, if anything, my job is supposed to do with marketing. And I think Stephen would agree, I spend quite a lot of time also talking about development internally because we're still at a stage where we're growing aggressively. I mean, if I look at other similar tools on the market that I have seen, and again, I don't mean disrespect to any tool. I think, tools like ClickFunnels, LandingIn, all these different tools are awesome, but none of them is developing at the rapid rate as we are developing. That's because since Stephen came along, our development process is streamlined. We've handpicked some of the best developers that our money could afford, and we are doing pretty well with growing the product quite aggressively. And I think maybe you can just talk about that.
Yeah, I think it's really important for everybody to know that in business terms, we are incredibly development heavy. That basically means I get about 80% of the budget that we have in our company, and Neil over here gets to work with about 20%. And if you would compare that with another really great product like Neil's, like for example, ClickFunnels, that would be the exact opposite. All of that, like they spend 80% of their very big budget into marketing and only about 20%. Of course, it's a guess of mine, but that's kind of what I can see as a technical mind from how they develop their platform and compared to how we develop our platform. We are really just a startup, and everybody in our team is not. It's not just me and Neil at all. It's the people behind the platform as well, and they are honestly busting their asses to create our vision language.
So the thing is, because we both come from a technical background, I used to be a software developer. Stephen still does a lot of software development. Our focus has been more and more on the platform and what it can deliver than just hyping it up to a point where we overpromise too much. So that's kind of the backstory of Kyvio, is to tell you where we're coming from. And maybe some of you who already are following the AppSumo page, you probably saw a little bit of drama there with ClickFunnels, where, I think I can talk about that.
Yeah, sure.
Where one of the customer development representative, like the highest person in their team who deals with customers, he came in and gave us 1 taco as 1 star for the product. And his only feedback was, that product is still in beta, it's not ready for the prime time. That's all he said. And that's because, he's obviously from a competitor company. We don't work like that. I mean, I personally think ClickFunnels is an awesome platform. It's just too pricey for what, we wanted, which is why we worked on something else. And I also think that their support perhaps isn't as forthcoming as other products are out there. Still, it's a great product and I wish them all the best. But it was kind of funny to see a platform that's generating, I think 8 figures a year coming and bashing a product that's just kind of getting out there. So it was kind of nice to see that they're scared. And that's our goal as well, long-term, to compete with products like these. So, in a way, for any AppSumo customers that are coming in right now, the kind of deal that we have going, it's a lifetime deal where you're getting grandfathered into something, which is part of our bigger vision. And we'll talk about the vision a little bit more later when we come to the AMA. But what I want to do now is I want to do a walkthrough and show you how Kyvio looks on the inside and show you all the different things that it has that you can get as part of the AppSumo deal. So if it's okay, can I get a quick 1 in the chat box? So let me know if I can, turn off this video because I know the frame rate is slow and so on. But I want to show you inside the platform now. All right, lots of ones coming in.
Thanks, guys.
Appreciate it. Okay, I'm going to turn off the video, and I think Sampath, you need to pass on the screen to me, and I can take it from there. All right. Yeah, the frame rate is slow because I'm using a DSLR, and DSLR isn't really tied into creating, fly. So that's the main reason why that's like that. Okay, cool. So actually, can I show them my rescue time?
Sure.
Yeah. I just want to show you basically the amount of insane hours that we've been putting in the last few I think, weeks or so, months or so, just with Kyvio.
Years or so.
Oh, years or so, I would say, yeah. So I just want to show you this because Stephen travels a lot. I travel a fair bit, but still, when we travel, we basically travel with a laptop. It's funny, we were discussing this today. Stephen's been to, I think, 10 countries in the last year, and I asked him what did he see and what did he like the most. He said he just saw the front of his laptop all the time. So that's kind of how we are.
Travel story.
Yeah, that's his travel story. That's how we are geared. And this is how many hours I work every single day in front of a computer. It's insane amount of time, but I'm committed to something bigger than myself. I'm committed to, and likewise with Stephen, we're committed to building something that is truly a game changer moving forward. So, again, just so you know, when you're buying this AppSumo deal, you're not just buying into a product that's starting out. The product's been around for 18 months, but instead you're buying into the visions of the creators as well. So that's why I wanted you to see me. I wanted you to meet us and make sure you understand where we're coming from. And I think we can even just see if the camera is on. Nope, I think we can turn that off as well. Save the battery.
Sure.
Okay, cool. So let me go ahead and show you inside Kyvio, show you all the different things that you can do with it. Now, of course, with the AppSumo deal, you will not have these two aspects, the affiliate center and support desk. And I want to address that head on, tell you why we cannot make them available to you at this stage. Number one, let's talk about the support desk. This is something that we originally added inside of when it was known as InstaSuite, but it just hasn't developed to a point where we are comfortable of giving you something exceptional. And personally, I wouldn't want to give you something just for you to feel that it's substandard. That would be cheating on my part, which is why we haven't opened the support desk to everyone as part of this deal. The other thing is the affiliate center. Now, the thing with this, and I know we've got a lot of people asking, hey, we want the affiliate center as well, and so on and so forth. The biggest issue that we have with this is that it's cost prohibitive. First of all, it is something that requires a lot of development work, but even more so, it requires a lot of support work, because you have to understand, when we are working with something like an affiliate center, we're dealing with a lot of cookies, we're dealing with a lot of people who are probably even cookie stuffing, we're dealing with a lot of issues that might affect your business. And honestly, if me and my team have to be on call 24/7 in case an affiliate is cheating you, or in case you lost money because of an affiliate, that's something that's too big a risk to take on for $49 one-time fee for the rest of the product's life. So for that reason, and I hope some of you can appreciate it, if you can't, I totally get it. But for that reason, we just couldn't afford to open up this deal as part of a one-time fee. And again, do understand that what you're getting as part of AppSumo is something that people 8 months ago paid $497 for. So you are absolutely getting a steal of a deal. And we're only making that because I've actually, Stephen's actually met Noah once before, I think in Bangkok, was it?
Sampat, yeah.
Sampat as well? I thought you did as well. But, we know Sampat really well. And Sampat said that if we can offer something to AppSumo customers, which is just really good, it'll make sense. It'll make sense for them. So, Sampat, do you want to?
No, you guys can keep going. But it'll be great if you can just slow down a bit, because the audio sometimes gets like a bit messed up when you go.
Sure.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, I will do that. I apologize. Okay, but let's go ahead and let me show you this tool, exactly how this functions and what all different things you can do with it with your AppSumo license. So when you get in, you will see 4 different modules in here. One of them is called Smart Funnels. The other one, Smart Memberships. Then you have the Blog Builder. And then finally, you have the email marketing module. Smart Funnels is for you to build landing pages and funnels where you can sell anything that you want. But as I'll show you, until we release our 5th module for you, which is Smart Products, you are kind of restricted to sell only membership products just within the Kyvio framework. If you use something like Thrivecart or Zaxa or PayKickstart, you can sell anything you want as long as they allow. But in our case, if you want to sell something just from within Kyvio by using 100% of Kyvio, you can only sell membership products at the moment. Then we do, of course, have the Smart Memberships as well, where you can sell any kind of video products, PDF-based products, written text products, images, zip files, anything along those lines. We also have the Blog Builder, which in a way acts as a replacement for WordPress blog. And you can use this to publish content. We've used this as well to publish content. and optimize it to be good for social media and search media as well. And then we have the email marketing module, which is one of my favorites actually, because with email marketing, we do a lot of it. In our company, we send about 750,000 emails every single month. That's 750,000 emails every single month. We have insane amount of data. We have insane amount of requirements. And a lot of what you will see in email marketing module, or what will be Smart Mailer module soon, has been built upon what we need in our business. So a lot of what you see here has been built and improved to match our own business requirements. Unlike other companies which build tools because there's a need or a demand in the market, we actually build tools also because of the need, but more so because we need it for our own business. Right now, about, I would say 80% of the operations run entirely on Kyvio, and we generate, in terms of revenue, we generate over 6 figures every single month using just Kyvio. Nothing else, just Kyvio. Recently, just this last week, I sold a course to our customers, and we generated over $3,000 just with about 5 days of promotion. So those are the kind of things that we do with Kyvio. But let me show you inside Smart Funnels and explain to you how everything fits together in there. So if you want to sell something, what you have to do is you have to build a landing page. But quite often you want to sell more than one thing, and a simple landing page isn't enough. What you need in that case is a funnel. So an opt-in page, then a sales page, then an upsell page, and maybe a downsell page. If you do it right, which I explain in a lot of free trainings that we do with our Kyvio customers, if you do it right, this kind of funnel doesn't seem pushy at all. It's something natural. It's something that most people go through over a given period of time. And let me show you how easy it is to create them inside of Kyvio. So when you first start adding a new funnel, you're given a few options. If you want to build an opt-in funnel, sales funnel, product launch funnel, or a webinar funnel, I'm going to go for opt-in funnel. And I'll say we have about 2 upsells and no downsells in this case. And I'll go for next. And then let's call this AppSumo Live. So when I build funnel, it creates a skeleton for me. It creates a structure for me putting out these 4 different pages. One is an opt-in page, then 2 upsell pages, and then finally a thank you page. When someone has made their purchase, we take them to a thank you page. We have templates within the platform as well. Depending on the kind of license you get, depending on how many codes you get, you will get different kinds of templates. So I think the AppSumo deal starts with 20, but that's stackable. So you can get more and more templates as you move forward. So we've got quite a few of these over here. I'm going to use one of them that I think I like the most, if that's okay.
Maybe it's a good idea if you address the templates as well, because that's a big question for a lot of the Sumo links.
Sure, fair point. So a lot of customers who have already been part of our platform for over 18 months now, and a lot of Sumo links as well, are coming in and saying that, okay, are we going to see new templates ever? Is this it when it comes to template? Well, here's the thing. We've got full-time designers working on creating new templates. And if you are part of Kyvio group as well, you would have noticed that we are bringing in a volunteer advisor who knows a lot about designs, and they're going to help us create some of the best templates that this market has ever seen. So we are upping our game in terms of what kind of templates we have, and we're going to bring them out to the marketplace soon. And those that get in will see them, because we're going to replace some of the old templates that are kind of based on older designs, and we're going to put a new one there instead. So you're going to see a lot of changes going on in the platform. Unlike other platforms, this is something that will continue to evolve over time. So in this case, if I wanted to preview it, I can click on this button and I can preview what this template looks like. If I'm happy with it, I can use it, or I can just preview another one. Like, let's go look at this one. So there, this one looks okay to me. I think it's quite nice design, and this one's all right as well. But I'm going to use the squeeze recipe because I think that looks quite nice. So when you pick a template, it brings you to this page where you can further edit it. You can change the headline. It's a simple click and edit. If you want to, you can replace the logo. You can integrate your form with many different services available out there. So when you are collecting leads, you can send leads to, for example, ActiveCampaign, Aweber, Constant Contact, ConvertKit, GetResponse, Infusionsoft, MailChimp, Market Hero, and SendLane. And of course, we already have InstaSuite's or Kyvio's own built-in email marketing solution, which will allow you to just use one of the lists that you already have within this platform. The cool part is this: because we have a membership platform, you can also register people as a member when they opt in. So to give you a simple use case here, imagine you want to give someone something for free. Instead of delivering that something for free via email or any other means, you can instead get them to automatically sign up as a member. And when they do, they go in, you can pitch them there another product as well that is targeted to their needs. Building these kind of pages is quite simple. Of course, we have templates, but even if you were starting from scratch, all you would have to do is start inserting things from over here. So these are blocks, as we call them, so complete blocks where you can drag and drop new things. So I can take this and put some text over here. And then if I want to, I can put a video here as well. If I wanted to turn it into columns, I could go here and put it into columns. So this way the video can go, let's say here, and some text perhaps can go here on the right. So this way the page is very easily editable. If you wanted to, you could add as many blocks as you want. There's no limit to absolutely how many blocks you can have. So if I add this here, now we have 2 blocks. And if I wanted to, I can drag and drop this further up and I can move things around. I can change the background color and do more or less everything that you would expect from, let's say, a WordPress landing page builder, but even more, because now you don't have to worry about hosting. Now you don't have to worry about any kind of extra things that you would have to worry about when you are building these pages. You can have background videos in place as well if you want. You can have background images. You can format and change these pages, these sections as you like. But the thing I love the most about this solution is the conversion scripts that we have in place. Now, think about this for a second. If you have a WordPress website, you need a plugin to collect leads. They need another plugin to have a bar at the top. In our case, what you can do is you can use conversion tools and put an info bar up on top. You can absolutely do that. If you want, you can build a pop-up right within this page. If you want, you can show an action message to people. If you want to show a complete page overlay, you can do that as well. So in that sense, we have built this editor to think about all the core needs for anyone who's using WordPress and help them duplicate that inside of Kyvio without the extra load of having 10 different plugins installed on their website. So when it comes to building something, this is as fun and as easy as it can get. But this is just the opt-in page. Let me actually publish this one and show you what this looks like. Again, remember our preview? It's going to look pretty much like that. But as I mentioned, you can customize this and condition this as you want. If I don't like this blue background over here, I can go to page options and I can change the background color. So in this case, we've got different settings. There's the background color. I can change that to white. There we go. And save. And preview again. And there we go. That's how easy it is to create all of this. Kyvio Smart Funnels has been created with the idea of making things simple and fast for you. Because once you're done with this opt-in page, whenever someone opts in, you can send them over to the upsell page. And then when they buy or don't buy, you can send them to upsell to page. And then finally, the thank you page. We integrate quite deeply with solutions like Thrivecart or Zaxa or JVZoo, Warrior Plus, if you want one of those, even ClickBank. So when you are building a funnel in one of these places, all you need to do is take the landing page URLs from Kyvio and put them in there, and it all talks to each other really well. We do have a ton of different tutorials in place, a lot of knowledge-based articles. So if you get stuck at anything, you have help there, or you can simply ask us when you do get stuck. So just click here, go to the Help Center, and you can already see a lot of tutorials over here. I think in my case, it will take me to the home page and even the tickets. So you can also look at the changelog because we are always adding new stuff. So the last one, I think Steven's been waiting to update that because he's here, so he's been busy. But we've been adding new stuff every couple of weeks. And just to show you this as well, from about November 9, 2016, which is a month after we opened it up to public, we've been doing all these things in the platform, which is why I told you earlier, we are the most aggressively developed platform out there in the marketplace.
We've got last year in 2017 we had 150 new features released, and a release every 2 weeks. Sometimes maybe we're a few days late. That happens every now and then, but generally 2 releases for every month, which is pretty amazing, and all credit for that to our team, of course.
Exactly. Then within Kyvio we also have the membership side, which is the smart memberships. Now the way this works at the moment is that it allows you to sell any digital product that you have. If it could be, well, I say any, but information products that you can put on YouTube or Vimeo or Vistia, whatever you want, and simply embed the links in this place. So we sold one of the products, I think about 3 months ago, 4 months ago, and this one did about 2,000 sales. We had another one that we sold 6 months ago, which was built in Kyvio, that had 4,000 sales. So we can quite definitely handle insane amount of traffics that we get every single month. I think we were actually looking at it and we were tracking that we get about 150,000 unique visitors every single month across all of Kyvio. And of course, with the new AppSumo customers coming in, this number will double or even triple over the next 3 to 6 months.
Yeah, and it's good to know that we've prepared for this kind of change. So when we just started out, this gets a little bit nerdy and techy, but that happens when I speak. We started out with like four servers, and right now we have about 38 different servers. We have a super streamlined system for releasing, deploying, testing, and then when it gets to production, it is basically all balanced. Which basically means that the traffic goes to different servers, and if one server goes down, the other one picks up. This is even with the background servers like the databases and stuff like that. If one database goes down, the other one picks it all up. And if normally in normal workings, if both are online, or actually we have more than 2 by now, but if they're all online, they just all help to balance the load of it.
Exactly. So we actually paid someone upwards of 5 figures to have them create this for us, so that we have redundancies built in. So, if, like Steven said, something goes down, it gets shifted to another server very quickly, automatically. So there's very minimal disruption. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, we do have a status page somewhere. In the last 6 months or so, our uptime has been over 99.1%. And the only time we were down was because we were releasing something really big, and we had to take the server offline for 25 minutes. So in that sense, we've had a pretty good track record of making sure that we can handle insane amount of traffic. When we personally bring something live to the marketplace, we get close to, I think at the peak time, about 1,000 users hitting our pages within 10 minutes. And we can handle that traffic quite easily as well. So going into the membership area, this is something that is being worked on at the moment, because right now we have some templates which were okay 6 months ago, but it's time to give this section a big facelift. So we are releasing new templates at the moment. As you will see, we have 3 different themes, actually 5 different themes, but they're okay. In AppSumo, I believe you get 3 different themes, but once we release the new ones, we'll also be releasing them to the AppSumo customers, because they dramatically improve what you can do with Kyvio.
One thing to note about the current themes is, I think they're okay on desktops. However, they look really good on mobile. So they're kind of created mobile first. Our new themes that we are creating now are going to be more niche-based, so that they're more specific for certain businesses. And they will obviously both be really good for desktop and, of course, still be good for mobile. Exactly.
So this is one of the products, just to show you inside how everything connects here. Within this, when you are building a membership product, it's very easy. It's step by step. You put in the product name, description, base currency, which you can set up when you're initially setting up the membership area. You can have different thank you URLs for different products. You can put in product images, and then you can also integrate with various different platforms. And I want to show you actually now what kind of platforms we integrate with at the moment. I already showed you platforms that we integrate for email marketing, but we have many more. So we have for payments, Stripe and PayPal. For marketplaces, we have ClickBank, Deal Guardian, JVZoo, Thrivecart, Zaxa, WSO Pro Standard, and Advanced. Then we have a lot of autoresponder platforms. You've got webinar platforms. We have social media platforms that we integrate with as well. We have Usign and Pixabay integration, SMTPs, and so on. So tons of integration already available, and more will be added in due time as well. Then when you're done with this, you can pick one of the different payment platforms. You can have different pricing levels, and you can create a specific button for those as well. But if you're using something like Warrior Plus or JVZoo or Zaxa, they give you their own by URL to use. The cool part that we also have in place is the actions, where when someone signs up to your membership area, you can add them to different lists. You can add them to a webinar. You can even give them access to a different product.
This is extremely powerful.
Exactly. It allows you to create multiple actions just for one user. So you can, instead of using something like Zapier in the future, you can do all of this internally from within our platform. And then finally, we have the content section as well. And before I go in and show you how to edit it, I want to show you what this actually looks like. So we've got this template, which, as I mentioned, is being constantly reworked, constantly improved. I've got the same background as you saw earlier, same shirt as well, actually. And then I have more than one shirt, I promise. And then we do have different menu items here, which are automatically created for you based on the modules and the lessons you have in place. One of the key things that we're working on in future is improving the width here, improving the size, so you can squeeze in more content than what we have in place right now. But as an end user, you don't see it yet because I'm logged in as an admin, but the end user can mark when they're done with the lesson, and you can see all those details about your users when you go to the Manage Members area. Creating and adding content to these members area is quite easy. You simply edit one of the pages, or rather lessons as we call them, and you can drag and drop. Let me find that. Okay, you can drag and drop text, you can drag and drop images, videos, and other things as well. And as I mentioned, the left menu is automatically created for you.
You can get a little bit more creative as well if you edit a text area, and then in that editor over here, you can do so a little bit more, and even do the source editing and get a little bit more creative and more advanced if that's you, if you know some HTML. So that's really powerful there as well.
Exactly. So these members area serve both newbies and also advanced users. One of the things that we're looking forward to in the membership rebuild and adding new themes is the ability to customize them with CSS.
Yeah, so the new membership site, smart membership site builder, is going to be even more flexible. Like now, it's good. It's pretty flexible. You can do a lot. But with the new editor, we're going to use the same editor as we're also using for the funnel editor, but then also for all your membership site pages.
Exactly, giving you at the end of the day more control of what your membership sites actually look like. Now, this is in essence members area. I can't go into showing you all the members because we do have everyone's email there, but you can add members manually if you want. You can import a complete CSV file. You can export your members list if you wanted that as well. One of the cool things that we do have in place though, as I mentioned before at the beginning, was the vision with this product, which was to have every module interconnected in a way. So when someone signs up to your membership, you can automatically add them into your email list as well. And you do that right now within this email marketing site. Now you will notice a dramatic change in the layout. That's because we are right now in the process of introducing new UI across all of our pages, all of our modules within Kyvio. And we've already done 2. We've got a few more to go. And then Kyvio site will look very consistent with all the different themes and colors and design that are good for long-term branding as well. Within the email marketing module, as I mentioned, we connect with the membership site, which means if anyone buys something from you, they automatically, if you choose to, get added to your email list as well. Then you can send them broadcasts when you want, but more importantly, you can send them autoresponder sequences. So emails that your customers automatically receive over any given period of time to make sure that they are able to absorb a lot of content that you are offering to them as well. Sampath, if you're still there, I just want to make sure I'm not going over time. Okay, perfect. Then we have the list manager as well, where you can create new lists. And the cool part is that with the opt-in form feature here, you can also create forms from within Kyvio, and you can put them on a WordPress website or any other website of your choice. And that would allow you to collect leads from other places as well. For transactional emails within Kyvio, for example, when someone signs up to your membership site, we automatically use our own SMTP to send them emails. But if you want to send them marketing emails, you have to have your own SMTP, which we guide you on how to do. And as I showed you earlier, we have integrations with SendGrid and SparkPost, so you can connect with them. Very easy to do and very easy to operate as well. I want to show you, actually jump into a different members area and show you what kind of open rates and click-through rates we're getting with our emails at the moment. For some of you, they might not be exceptional, but trust me, for a list this size and over 4-year-old in some cases, these are pretty good numbers. So I'm going to jump into email marketing and show you some of our broadcasts and what kind of results they're getting for us as well. And again, like I said, the slight change in the UI, or rather the big change in UI suddenly might alarm you, but this is how we're going to be doing moving forward. So as you can see, we are sending emails regularly to 20,000 plus people, 3,000 plus people, and 10,000 plus people. And because the system is optimized for email sending, the open rates are good, the click-through rates are good as well. So this is something that we are using ourselves day in, day out. We don't have any other third-party application that we use anymore. I used to have subscription with ClickFunnels. I canceled that. I used to have subscription with GetResponse. That's canceled as well. And I used to use OptimizePress for landing pages long before. That's gone. And we used to rely on different WordPress plugins for our membership area, but they used to get hacked really easily and they used to be problematic. So we don't use them anymore either. So this is the email marketing setup. We then also have, as you will see, the blog builder, which is actually really simple to operate. And it's quite easy because adding new posts just requires you to click add new and then simply go in and paste all the text that you want along with the images. You can embed the videos as well, GIF files, whatever it is you want to put in place. This is something that eventually we would like to improve a lot, but till then, our focus lies mostly on smart funnels and smart memberships, and also what is coming soon is smart products. The email marketing part, Smart Mailer, is something we spent 2.5 months on later last year, adding a lot of features. And some things that I didn't show you were quite handy, which involved basically moving people around the different lists based on if they're engaging with your list or not. And we've got a big roadmap plan for email marketing as well that would add a lot of new things to you if you want to do more advanced stuff. So when it comes to basic stuff, this is quite easy to do. Like, for example, creating segments, I think it's quite necessary. I needed it. So I argued with Stephen, like, hey, we want this feature. And Stephen built this feature in, which would allow me to create different segments within my email list and target them differently based on their behavior. And then we also have automations, which allows us to move people around to different lists based on whether or not they're opening our emails or whether or not they're clicking on our links, and so on and so forth. So in terms of email marketing, we have a lot of different things that have been built in based on real business needs. And as I mentioned, because we're using this platform every single day in our business, we'll continue to enhance it. Basically, whenever I turn on my computer, first I log into Kyvio, because usually I have a page I need to finish or new content I need to add or an email I need to send. And that all happens right within this platform. Now, before I come to some questions that I know I've been skipping for quite some time, I want to...
You kind of want to show the list cleaner tool as well.
Sure, we want to show you a quick tool that Stephen really loves, which is why he wants to show you that.
That's something I always tell Neil to do, because it's really powerful for your email marketing to make sure that everybody on your list actually wants to receive your emails. That helps your reputation, that helps your click-through, that helps your open rate. It basically helps everything, including your revenue. So it's a really easy tool to use. You can set any action like move, delete, or export. Delete is always kind of radical, so I'm always creating just new list, like an inactive list, for example. So you say move, and then you can select a whole bunch of conditions, not opened or clicked, not opened, as you can see them all here. Even bounce plus spam plus unsubscribed, something a few users of ours asked, so we built that in as well. And then you can just choose a list and then be ready, basically.
Actually, I must say, Stephen, I hadn't realized we had so much more here, because I think last I checked 2 months ago, we only had 3 conditions, but it's good to see now we have 9.
Yeah, we added a few more because of some of our Facebook users really needed them for their own businesses. And in case you haven't noticed yet, we listen.
Exactly. So we listen to what our customers want. Sometimes Stephen doesn't listen to me. He listens to our customers. So we do have a lot of things going in. But let's talk quickly before we go to some questions. Let's talk about other tools out there as well that you have asked about. So we've got a lot of questions about tools like, if I'm pronouncing it right, Simobly, and then also Landingy. So I just want to touch upon those. As I mentioned earlier in this session, I never badmouth my competition, because I think it's wrong for me to do that. I think everyone's working hard in their business, and it is not my place to talk bad about them. I think any tool that puts themselves out there is a good tool, unless you can prove otherwise. And obviously I haven't used any of these, but I do want to explain the differences between what they have and what we have, other than, of course, the people behind it. So with Simobly, or of Simobly, again, if I am pronouncing it right, from what I have gathered, looking through the sales pages and their website, is that it's mostly a WordPress replacement. It's a content management system of sorts. So Kyvio is more about an all-in-one business. So even if you use a WordPress replacement, you would still have to do email marketing. You would still have to, of course, blog, and you would have to build membership sites and funnel builders, and you would have to go out and get different products for them. With Kyvio, the idea is to give you about 80% of the tools that you need in your business in one place. Then we've also got Landingy, and I've looked at some of the templates. Absolutely beautiful, really beautiful templates. And as I mentioned earlier, we're upping our template game as well. But in terms of the feature set that they have, I feel we have more, because quite obviously we've got the members area, we've got the email marketing part, and you're getting the blogging part as well. Again, I can't remember if they have blogging or not. And from what I've heard from AppSumo folks, Landingy isn't coming back to AppSumo. So if you missed out on that, or if you even have it, and if you're looking for something which offers more for the same price, this might be it. Having said that, when I say more for the same price, a common objection that comes up, hey, 1,000 leads isn't enough, or 1,000 members isn't enough. Now, let me give you just a very quick idea first about the 1,000 members. So as I mentioned, we sold a course last week to about 105 customers, and altogether, because there were trials involved as well, altogether we had about $3,500 coming in from that. That's 105 customers. A lot of them are going to be repeat customers in future as well. So over the course of this year, I will continue to create new trainings and offer them to our customers. I'm quite sure that I will hit the 1,000 limit just by doing that by the end of the year. These are paid customers, of course. So looking at the average, if each customer is paying me about $35, I can expect to make $35,000 in sales with these customers, with these members that have access to a course that I'm selling. So a 1,000 member limit is worth $35,000 worth to me. Now that's a lot of money for just a 1,000 member limit. So if you're worried that, hey, what if we have more than 1,000 members? I quite honestly think that if you have more than 1,000 members, paying more would be the least of your concern. In all honesty, I think then you would just want to make more money by selling more things to them, which of course they like as well. Same thing with the leads. We have a limit of 1,000 leads, but that's because more leads put more pressure on our system because we have all the IPs that we have to rotate. We have a lot of cleaning that we have to do. Sometimes our servers complain to us, hey, someone's spamming from your tool. So we have to make sure we monitor them as well. We have someone who's spending 10 hours every week just working to make sure that all the IPs stay clean within our email marketing system. So we do have a lot of cost to that as well, which is why if you use Kyvio itself, you can collect and email 1,000 leads. But if you use something like ActiveCampaign, Drip, Infusionsoft, MailChimp, whatever one of these tools, you can simply collect leads on our opt-in pages and send leads over to these tools. And then you can send as many as you want. We do not limit you on how many leads you send outside of Kyvio. Only how many leads you collect inside of Kyvio and how often, how much you can mail them. So there are only some restrictions on that. But like I said, if you are already getting 1,000 members in your members area, paying $49 extra should really be the least of your worries. But again, if you are in that situation where you have 1,000 members, but 49 seems like a lot, please do explain to me. Maybe I'm not seeing that side. But to me, if I've made $3,500 from 100 customers just in the last week alone, I am thinking that 1,000 limit lead should be pretty good. So again, one more time, if you are taking leads out of Kyvio system into another autoresponder, we do not restrict you whatsoever. You can take 100,000 leads or unlimited leads if you want. That is completely fine. But all in all, this is Kyvio. I mean, there's so much more, these micro things that I wanted to show you that I can't show you now because, like I said, there's so much more within it. But all you have to do to learn more is simply go to the help desk, and you will be able to pick up a lot of things just from the knowledge base. So just to give you a quick walkthrough of this as well, and I promise I won't take more than a minute, but the knowledge base has over 100 different articles at the moment, and we are adding a lot more. We are going to be adding about 200 to 300 more articles in this. So if you get stuck at anything, literally anything, you'll be able to find a solution right within this knowledge base. And for some reason right now, I think it's not letting me see that, but I think I can go to
incognito window.
Yeah, I can go to, yep, good point, incognito window and show you that. All right, there we go. We've got the knowledge base over here. And for all different areas that the platform covers, we've got a lot of training here already available. One of the key things that I'm doing, and I think I would like to show you our Facebook group, one of the key things that I'm doing starting next week is doing, and I think it's on the 5th of this month, is doing these 8 workshops starting 5th of February all the way till 26th of March. We'll be doing one workshop every week and doing a very detailed walkthrough of smart funnels, smart membership, smart mailer as well, and then finally smart blog, along with doing live case studies of how people can use it. So if you're doing services, smart funnels is enough for you to create your funnels and offer those services. If you are delivering any kind of products, you can use smart membership to deliver those products. If you have a prospect list or a customer list, you can mail them via smart mailer. If you want to keep your branding on point, then you can use smart blog to publish new blog posts every single week as well. So we'll be talking about all of that starting 5th of February, going all the way to 26th of March. Having said all that, Sampath, if it's okay, we are happy to take more questions, or take questions rather. But if I missed something, please do tell me and we can discuss that as well.
Thanks for that, Neil. So that was like super detailed walkthrough than what I expected. And some of those information are so new to me, despite being a user of Kyvio for a while now, ever since it was called as InstaSuite. So I see some surprises there. Thanks for that. Thank you, Stephen, for working on that. Like, you guys are like true hustlers. So
of course.
Yeah. So guys, to give a bit of background, I actually happened to meet Stephen when I went to Chiang Mai. Most of you might have seen the pics I shared. So, and Neil is a good friend even before that. So we were talking about, I was like an InstaSuite early adopter. So I was talking to them about when Landing got launched, and then when it got sold out, there were like so many sumo links were commenting, mentioning that you guys have missed the deal. Is there a chance landing is going to come back? And at the same time, I started playing more with InstaSuite. I spoke to Neil about getting an AppSumo, and first thing Neil said is, Sampath, this is like there's so many ongoing costs here for us, so maybe we won't be able to afford a lifetime deal. This is unless and until you guys are gonna send goons to my home and threaten me, we are not gonna offer a lifetime deal, is what Neil first told me. And then I happened to meet Steven. I thought that it would be easier to ask Steven to convince Neil. So I met Steven in person, and I spoke to him about AppSumo launch and etc. And then they together decided, after seeing like a lot of small links wanting a very good landing page builder, and since Kyvio is more than just landing page builder, it's where you can build like whole funnel, start selling your digital products, create courses, create membership sites, etc. They kind of decided that they want to go do an AppSumo launch and offer the best they could. So that's like a bit of background story that most of you don't know. So thanks for that. Thank you once again, Neil and Steven, for that. Let's get on and start taking the questions now. There were like a lot of questions already.
I bet.
So yeah, I'll take my cam off. Top to bottom. Can I use the platform as e-commerce for my physical product?
So the question is, can you use your platform for e-commerce for your physical products? So we are building smart products, which we said we plan to release it hopefully by the end of February, a beta version. And you can eventually, you'll be able to use that to sell physical products as a funnel, but we're not going towards e-commerce like Shopify. That is not our goal. And the thing is that Steven and I are quite okay with saying no to people, because we're not looking for more money at this stage. We're looking for users who enjoy our platform, who use our platform. And to be completely transparent, going to e-commerce would be completely unique positioning for us, which, because we don't do e-commerce ourselves, we don't want to get into it. So selling physical products as a funnel, yes, but selling like Amazon or Shopify kind of site, selling that up, you won't be able to do that with Kyvio.
Great. Neil, I think you can take your cam off and put up a picture of you or Steven so that we can take a look at something and audio doesn't get glitchy. Yeah, perfect. I hope you guys can hear us better now. So Abhik wants to know, do we get access to all the templates and can choose only 20 templates? Or you will be just limiting any random 20 templates to us?
So we're not limiting 20 random templates to you. What we are doing is Steven and I sat down. We have, I think, unofficially, we have about 160 templates in the platform. And we picked the 20 best ones, which cover different fields. And that's the ones that we're providing as the first deal. Then the next 20 best you get as a second deal if you stack it up, and so on and so forth. So we have been quite, clinical about finding the best 20 templates and offering them to you. Unfortunately, the system isn't built to offer you the choice that we can show you all of them and you can pick 20. That's not how it works, because giving every individual that unique flexibility would be impossible. But I can assure you that when we do release new templates, most likely what will happen is, if we find that they're better than what you currently have, we'll take one of the worst performing templates from your account and we'll put a new, better one in there. So that's something I can tell you, that when it comes to landing pages, we are designing new ones, and there will be replacing some of the older looking ones with the new ones, and you'll see those replacements as well as we release them. Sampath, is that okay?
Hello.
Yeah.
So what happens when you replace a template? What happens to my funnel?
So your funnel stays intact. I mean, if you already use that page, then that will not be affected. The page will be yours to keep forever. But of course, when you want to go back in and use that template again, you won't be able to, unless you have saved it as a template in your own account, which some of you might have the ability to. Then it'll be available forever, because it's localized in your database. Let's put it like that. But if it's in global database, then we'll just remove the old one, put the new one in. But your funnels will not be affected.
Perfect. So Regis, I'm not sure if I pronounce your name correct. I'm
So
sorry.
for everybody on the
So,
sorry.
so he has stacked up like 5 deals, and he sees only 21 templates at the moment. Is that correct?
Oh, that should not be correct. You should see 100 templates. So if you have stacked up 5 deal, please do contact our support desk, and we can check. Maybe the codes didn't trigger the new templates or something. We can check as to where the templates are, and we can issue them back to you in your account.
Great. So Mark wants to know, if I'm running ad campaigns from Facebook, what URL will be associated with the account? Because you right now you have like subdomains, and I can create my own custom URL.
Sure.
What if my business domain name changes later on? Can I edit?
Fair question, Mark. So Mark's asking about domain names and changing them and so on, especially with Facebook ads. Mark, I can tell you that if you only have one site, which means if you only buy one license of AppSumo, your account is associated with your core site. So if I give you an analogy, your address is associated with you. If you want to change your address, you have to come to us, and we'll change it from our end. Like our developers will change, let's say, abc.kyvio.com or mark.kyvio.com to mark2.kyvio.com. So we can do that for you. And of course, if you wish to associate a different domain with this subdomain, all you have to do is change your subdomain domain mapping settings, and that happens for you instantly. But as for Facebook, Facebook sees what you show to them. So if you are directing people to your domain, which is mapped to our subdomain, then people will see your domain. They will not see anything about Kyvio.
Great. So what happened? 1 second. Sorry.
Sure.
So Simon has a question. Simon, I am sorry I missed you earlier. So why are the templates active for membership? Because I get only the standard 3 and not the 8 as mentioned in the AppSumo.
No, we only have I don't think 8 is mentioned anywhere. Please do check the AppSumo deal again. For membership, we only have 3 templates available for the AppSumo deal. But as I mentioned, we will be releasing new ones, and they'll be available to you without any extra cost. Because, like I said, when it comes to designing membership sites, we want your sites to be modern as well. So when we do release new templates, those ones some of them will make available for you for no extra cost. But at the moment, people who paid $497 have 5. You have 3 for $49, which again, I think is a pretty good deal.
Great. So Kevin wants to know whether we can drop in third-party platforms, the codes from third-party platforms, say an exit pop-up or bar or other conversion tool. Is it okay? Can I do that with Kyvio?
You can definitely do that. So if I just quickly show you my screen again for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so within Kyvio, we've got, let me jump into one of the funnels first. So one of the key features that we have here is the ability to have scripts and tracking code in place. So you can put in any kind of, let's say, retargeting script. You can put in any kind of third-party scripts which enable a pop-up if you want. So yes, you can do all of that within this platform.
Great. So say I'm a ClickBank affiliate. How can I use Kyvio? I'm
Great
not selling
questions.
I'm not
Sure.
selling on ClickBank, but I'm just an affiliate.
Sure. So what we quite often do is actually I want to show you this as well. So I'll keep the screen share on for a little bit because I think I can show you some real use cases here, how we are using it as well.
Great.
So one of the key things that we use Kyvio for is, of course, promoting products, because one of our business models is also affiliate marketing. And for that, we create what is known as bonus pages. So these bonus pages have different bonuses on them. They have information about the product, videos, and so on. Quite often, marketers also call them bridge pages. So it's a page between when your customer clicks on the link in the email or an ad, and they land on a page where you describe the opportunity. and on the next page, they can actually avail the opportunity. So in this case, we have, let's say, one of these products. I think one of these pages. This should be complete, so I can show you. So these are the kind of pages that we quite often create when we are promoting a product to make sure that we can explain the product to our customers in our own unique way quite easily. So this is one of the pages. And then we've got this page as well. That is a bridge page. That is an affiliate page. So if you're promoting something via ClickBank, what you would quite often need is some kind of a bridge page in between, and you can build those with Kyvio as well.
Promoting Kyvio using Kyvio's platform. That is kind of like Inception, right?
It is kind of Inception. Actually, some of our customers are already doing that, and we have one customer who's making about, I think she's making about $800 a month just by doing that passively, not even actively.
Nice, impressive. That's some good change to have every month.
Yes.
Yeah. So Erica would like to know whether traffic, when I start stacking up the deals, say up to 5, what happens to the traffic? I understand it's going to be like 150K UVs per month, but is it limited to 30 per website, or it's 150 spread across 5 websites?
Sure. So it is 150,000 spread across different websites, and as I mentioned, it's quite good as well, because altogether we've got more than, I think last I checked, 3,000 customers before we started the AppSumo deal, and I think over 1,000 of them are recurring customers. And between all of them and myself, we have about 134,000 or 150,000 hits a month, to Kyvio pages. So you can imagine that even getting 30,000 unique visitors is pretty generous, actually, I would say. So 150,000, you can distribute them. I mean, they will automatically be counted on your account and not just on one site.
Great. So do you have any plans to build an online community function, like within the membership area where people can chat with each other, something like that sort? Any plans for that?
To an extent, yes, but not a full-fledged community. Like, I think the least things that we will be doing is having a better, let's say, comment feature within the platform. So under every video, under every lesson, you can have comments. I guess in a way like Udemy has it, but it's not something we're planning in the next 6 months. And it's not something that will be full-fledged community. Because, I would love to do it, but one of the problems with community is that it can quickly backfire as well if you accidentally make a mistake. So, that's an added pressure on you, which I think for now you can do without. But if there's enough demand, if we have some better ideas of how to do it, we'll definitely get that done for you.
Great. So where are your servers located? People would like to know, so that there is the loading speed always stays under like 2 seconds.
Yes, I will pass it on to Stephen. Where are our servers located? Because the loading speed is important.
They're located in Germany.
Right.
That's it.
So yeah, we considered putting them up in the US as well, but honestly, we found some really good ones in Germany, which, when we compared to what we could find in the US, German ones were actually faster across the pond as well, stateside. So it just made sense to use something that was, not just, I don't think they actually cost us more than the US ones.
Oh, way more. Yeah, the quality of European servers is generally way better than the US ones. And on top of that, we also use something called a CDN. It's a content distribution network to make sure it loads fast around the world, basically.
Yeah, right. So given that you have like various stages, right? The Kyvio has multiple stages. So how do you link between multiple stages?
How do you mean multiple stages? Sorry.
You have a membership site, which is one module, and you have a landing page builder on the other end, and there's a funnel, and there is like digital products where I can sell it. So how do I link between these? Say someone who has purchased a subscription, I want them to add or someone has purchased a digital product, and I want them to add to my membership website. How do I do that? How do I make the link?
Sure. So as I showed earlier, So in the landing pages itself, when someone opts in, you can also register them for your membership product. That's the one thing you can do. if someone buys something, of course, you can automatically give them access to a membership product as well. At the same time, you can add them to your email list as well. Similarly, so when someone is signing up with you, they are automatically getting added to your email list as well as to your members area. Eventually, when the smart products is ready, let's say if you're selling software, if you're selling even services, then if you choose to, of course, you can still give them access to a membership product. I'll give you one use case, which I think is really cool. And even I didn't think of it, someone else came up with that idea, one of our customers. So what they wanted to do was that they had 8 different products in their membership area, and they said, I want to sell them as a bundle. So when someone buys, I want them to get access to all 8 different products. How can I create buy buttons? And I kept thinking, I slept on it. It didn't come to me. But then some other customer came in and said, why don't you create a 9th product, which when they buy, based on automation, which I showed earlier, they get access to all the 8 products immediately. And voila, that customer tried it. It worked. And now they're selling that as a bundle product. And they're making much more than they did before. So there are various different ways of connecting the dots within Kyvio. We explain that on all the walkthrough webinars and also via our knowledge base.
Great. And you have mentioned that you have like a list of autoresponders that Kyvio can currently integrate with. So what if I am using something else that's not listed? Say, for example, I'm using Sendy or Sendinblue, some other auto, or Mail Primo. How do I integrate with them?
Sure. So in that case, what you can do, more or less all of these autoresponders have the ability to create forms. So you can create forms within them. And when you create a form, you can copy the HTML embed code and you can put them within your landing page. So when you are connecting where it says connect with an autoresponder, instead of connecting with one of them already listed there, as I will show you now, you can simply put the HTML details there. So like I've done here, you can go for custom integration, put your HTML details here, and we'll send the leads over to your autoresponder. Now, I do want to tell something to those that are not quite technical. Actually, it's been tested quite extensively, but when you use API, you might lose, on bad days, you might lose about 5 to 7 leads out of every 100. So this is one of the biggest complaints with ClickFunnels, that when people run paid ads, they get all the statistics from Facebook, but the actual leads collected are much fewer because they get lost in the API connections. Wherever possible, I know it requires a bit of effort, but wherever possible, I recommend using HTML option instead, because that has an accuracy rate of about 99 to 100% in most cases.
Cool. Okay. Paul wants to know if it's possible to use different currencies for different products. If yes, what other currencies do you support?
So if you are using third-party tools, for example, like I mentioned, Zaxa, Thrivecart, the currencies are limited to them, right? The currencies are limited to them because they are the ones that decide what kind of currencies they will allow you to use. We have some restrictions as well, but mostly it comes down to your provider. So it comes down to your PayPal or your Stripe where you're based, and based on that, you can collect monies. Now, I will say this: if your currency isn't listed here, and if you, for some reason, not able to use your own PayPal or your own Stripe, you can always get in touch with us, and we can see how we can enhance this feature. But I think Stephen would probably agree that one of the things that we're doing with smart products is making it quite universal in a way. So any kind of PayPal and Stripe can be used in that case.
Well, PayPal always kind of still requires like at least a business account. So that is, but if you're an online business, you need that anyway. Let's be honest. But yeah, it's going to be a lot more flexible for sure.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, sounds good. Katana, I saw that you are unable to add your products to your membership website. I think it's a support question, and it's easier for Neil or Stephen to take a look into this if you contact them via support or through their Facebook group.
Yeah, that's right. We have 3 support staff that are switching around during various hours of the days. So you can hit us up. We try and maintain at least 12-hour window every day where we can answer questions. I think 24 hours is unrealistic, but we try for 12 hours. And I mean, it should be, I hope that from what I showed you, you can already start adding products to your members area, but by clicking here. But if for whatever reason you are struggling with it, we're just a message away and we can help you out immediately.
Great. So when are you going to add Amazon S3 files to be added for the membership?
So the question is, when are we going to add Amazon S3 files to the membership?
There's no plan for that at the moment.
Yeah, and I mean, I would like a bit more explanation here, because you can, within memberships, you can already embed links. So if you have an Amazon S3 link, you can already embed that. If you have an Amazon S3 video, you can embed that. I mean, someone even had a HTML5 video, and we could even embed that within Kyvio membership, but I'm not quite sure what the question's pointing to. If you're talking about, integration with your S3, we have no plans for that at the moment. And honestly, it's a little bit risky, because we don't want that kind of ownership of your Amazon S3 API key, because also with the new EU GDPR regulations that are coming out in May, it might be troublesome for us to store keys to your database, let's say. I mean, keys to your email accounts are okay, because they have their own GDPR compliance, and I'm sure Amazon does as well. But I think S3 is a little bit risky, which we don't wish to integrate with anytime soon, just because it's not really necessary, because you can simply copy and paste stuff quickly.
And if people still want it, go to feedback.kyvio.com, where you can submit IDs and vote for IDs. And we are definitely on that platform all the time. And we are looking to every vote and every new ID that's put out there.
Yeah.
Great. So Daniel, he already has a membership WordPress plugin, and is it going to be like a conflict, or can you use like a membership plugin separately, and he can use Kyvio separately? I think that will be like two different cases, right? You cannot use a membership plugin on Kyvio anyway.
Exactly.
But,
so they are quite exclusive events. I would say that yes, if you want to build out new products, you can build out them into Kyvio, of course. And you can, if you use the domain mapping, if someone lands on your website.com/member or member2 or member3, they could be accessing products from Kyvio, and that's perfectly fine as well.
Great. So if I want to have an affiliate center, how much do I have to pay extra? How do I get an upgrade? Are you going to offer any discount on that?
So for Sumo links, we will be having deals afterwards. The thing is that as much as I want to sell you more things, I don't want to do that just yet, because if you are already buying something via AppSumo from us, I want you to get the best utility out of that for now, for the next few months at least. But when we do open up, I can assure you that compared to what we are offering to public at the moment, we will be offering special deals to all our Sumo link turned Kyvians. But I honestly don't want to think about selling you something just yet. So I haven't even thought in detail about what and when and how much. But again, like I said, the price for that will be cheaper than what we are offering on our website, to everyone else.
Great. So this question has been repeated. Is it possible to import funnels from ClickFunnels?
Is it possible to import funnels from ClickFunnels? As much as I would love to do that, ClickFunnels don't have any kind of API that would allow us to bring content out of them to here. So no, at the moment it's not possible. And to be very honest with you, it might not be likely either, because as you can imagine, they're quite protective of their assets, or they consider your sites to be their assets. So we won't be able to bring them in for you. Sorry.
Okay. So the 1,000 member is a question. What is the cost for larger? I think when you stack up the deal, you can get up to like 5,000 members in your account. That is something that's
exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Let me just scroll through quickly. Is the entire Kyvio site built with Kyvio minus the support page? It's a good question.
It's a very good question, and I appreciate that. I want to show you this website because I'm in the login area, because I'm very proud of what it looks like. I think this is one of the better sites. And again, I'm not a technical person. Stephen is, even though I have development background, I usually did algorithm development. I never did, design development. So in terms of what Kyvio website looks like, I think it's one of the best websites that I've been part of. It's built 100% inside of Kyvio. I mean, quite obviously, we didn't use any template. We had some basic template, but we enhanced it because we have the designer capability for it. So yes, this entire thing is built in that. The support desk, we don't use our own at the moment because, as I mentioned, to me personally, I want it to be better than it is. But right now, our key focus are funnels, membership, email marketing, and smart products. So I'm kind of still holding back on using our own support desk. But the other thing that I'm really looking forward to use is once our smart products is ready. As you know, if you try and buy, at the moment we sell, if I click on this, we sell Kyvio via Zaxa at the moment, which is like Pay Kickstart or Thrivecart and so on. What I'm really looking forward to is when the smart products is fully functional, then we'll be selling Kyvio using Kyvio. That would be really awesome. And, you know, that's something that I'm planning, hopefully that by the end of, let's say, when everything is ironed out, by summer, we'll be able to open even some kind of affiliate program using Kyvio to sell Kyvio itself, which is really how businesses should be run. You know, using our own or sell, you know, using our own medicine, as I say it.
Great. I cannot see how many custom domains I can use in my Kyvio account. Where do I see that?
So it depends on the kind of, you know, how many AppSumo licenses you're getting. If you get one license, it's one custom domain. If you get two, it's 2, 5, and 5, and so on.
Great.
And you will see that, just, sorry, one more thing.
Yeah.
And you will see that here. So I'm in one site at the moment, which is KV Social. And these are all the different sites that I have. And I can create new site, which for you is like a new license, let's say.
Okay, that sounds easy. Guys, there is like still a lot of questions, so I'm just going through one after the other, so please bear with me. Yes, Norman, you will get all future updates and all features included for the AppSumo plan. You'll be getting all of them in your account. So Neil, you mentioned about quiz. What kind of improvements can we expect for quiz? Like, do we are going to get like a translation? Is it going to be having like a radio select type kind of buttons? So how is it going to work?
Sure. So currently, when it comes to quizzes, we have something quite simple, straightforward in the membership area. So you can create a multiple choice question kind of quiz, and people can answer the questions, and then you can automatically give them points, and you get all the reports in the back end. So all of that already functions. One of the things that I would like to see as well is an enhancement in quizzes, which would allow people to give subjective answers as well, and do even better multiple choice questions that we currently have, including images. But really, that's the kind of thing that I want to develop based on user feedback, because I don't personally use a lot of quiz in my business. But if someone wants to, they can tell us what they would like to see, and we will develop. But one thing I want to point out here is the notification feature as well, which we have built. So whenever a member that you have comments on a lesson, or if you make a sale, you get notifications here, which is kind of nice because you can always log in. It's like Facebook notifications, right? You can always log in and see how your business is doing.
Great. Okay. Do you have public API access?
No, we don't have public API at the moment. API is something we're releasing slowly. So one thing we are working on soon is the API for email marketing module for Smart Mailer. And once that is done, once we have proper connections with Zapier, then we'll slowly continue working on others as well. I think membership is another one we want to look at. And then we'll look at perhaps funnels as well, and so on and so forth. So it's a very gradual step. And yes, we will develop APIs. And eventually, when we have a lot of customers, we can kind of force other tools to integrate with us. And you can do that as well. So that way, you'll be able to use Kyvio, just, the click of a button from most different platforms.
Got you. I think in terms of like integration, you have like a lot of questions coming in. Are you going to integrate with ConvertFox and ManyChat or some kind of Facebook Messenger marketing bot? So it'll be great if you guys can list down a set of integrations that you're planning to roll out now, and the ones you have planned for. Or do you take requests for that? where
Sure.
do we submit the request?
Sure. So as always, please submit your requests in feedback.kyvio.com, and we definitely take integration requests and we go through all the votes. For example, we make sure that we prioritize based on what most people want. We unfortunately are not at that scale anymore where we can serve one customer out of 5,000 that we now have. So we'll take requests based on the general requirement from everyone. And integrations are something that we want to do gradually as well, because the problem with doing integrations is that it stops us from developing our core features, which is something still that we wish to do. So if I'm honest, we'll spend about 80-90% of time on Kyvio itself and the rest on doing integration stuff, which enhances the user experience. So like I said, email marketing solutions we would like to integrate, but you can already use the HTML form as I talked about. So it's not critical. But if something is critical, we'll look at it more urgently. Let's just say that.
And
Great.
To be honest, we have a lot of integrations already. So that's why it's not a main focus right now. We understand fully that integrations are very important, but we already have many. And of course, we need to focus on our core features, which is more beneficial for every of our users.
Gotcha. Makes sense. So Debashi wants to know if we can stack up the membership instead of creating a new domain on the platform. So I don't want to stack up the number of domains and just focusing on.
Sure. So if you want to just have, let's say if you get 5 AppSumo deals and you get 50 product capacity, you can use all those 50 within one membership site. If you don't want to use 5 sites, that's completely fine.
Great. So to answer you a bunch of guys, when does AppSumo deal end? Most likely it ends by sometime mid of next week, maybe Tuesday or Wednesday. I'm not sure. I don't have an official info yet, but that's what the rumor says. Most likely by Tuesday or Wednesday next week. So do you have any plans to integrate with the scheduler like Acuity, Book Like a Boss, Omnify, etc.? Once again,
I honestly have no idea what these tools do, so we don't have plans to integrate with them. Again, okay. Any integration requests have to go via our feedback portal, where we take user votes and we build things based on what most people want. But those tools, I think I've heard of Book as a Boss, if it's called. Yeah, but we don't have any plans for that at the moment. And remember, we are, for most part, dealing with online businesses. We do have a lot of local businesses as well, but because we have our own online business, that's something we can see much clearer than offline business requirements. So as always, if you tell us, we can do something about it, but this is not something that we know automatically.
Gotcha. I think Book Like a Boss allows you to, they provide an embed code. If they do, I think you can use the embed code within your landing page. Is that right, Neil?
Exactly. As long as you get any kind of HTML or JavaScript code, you can use that with the landing pages, in some cases, even the membership sites. So, integration is kind of a quicker way to do things. But again, remember what I said. If you do integrations, you lose about 7% of your data. So if you're okay with that, I'm okay with giving you that feature eventually. But if the site gives you capability to create HTML or JavaScript code to put somewhere, that's a more 100% efficient way to get things done. And Stephen wants to say something as well.
One important thing that I know is incredibly popular, which also might be a solution to a lot of integrations some people might want and are vital for their businesses, but not vital for a lot of our other people, so they might not get through to the votes, is our upcoming Zapier integration. We are working on this. I cannot right now promise a timeline because we have a lot of things going on, but it's definitely coming. And It's a high priority for us. So when that is done, you have your Zapier, and then you can integrate and do whatever you want, and it's relevant to your business.
Zapier is like anonymous answer, like for so many integration requests. So as long as you have Zapier, you have like most of these, you can get it done. Perfect. Okay. Facebook Pixel, Google Pixel. Okay.
And sorry, Sampath, could I say something about? I think you said something about translation. So if I could address that very quickly.
Yes, please.
So Stephen lives in Netherlands, right? And I live in Finland. And so we're not Americans. I mean, we do speak, I think Stephen speaks about 6 languages. 4, too badly. But I speak about 5 languages myself, or I understand 5 languages. So one of the things that I really want to see being European is more languages being usable within Kyvio. So this is one thing that we are going to push this year, is that we're going to make the back end, the front end, basically everything in Kyvio translation ready. So what we are planning to build in the second quarter is like a translation engine that would allow us to crowdsource from our customers translations initially in Spanish. Then I think our next plans are for German, if I'm not mistaken, or Italian, and enable even Italian vendors to sell products using Kyvio, or Spanish vendors, and even their customers, they don't even see anything in English. It's all in Spanish or Italian. So that's going to be a big push from us this year, because no other tool out there in the marketplace serves international audience in their own languages, and we intend to do that this year.
So bear with me.
Mm-hmm.
So I understand that I can send like emails using Kyvio. So will that be hosted by Kyvio? When the email goes out, what does it say, like powered by Kyvio or something? So that's one. And 2, do you have like a ready-made template that I can use with the default autoresponder that comes with Kyvio? And
okay.
Is it possible to upload my own set of templates?
Okay.
Also,
all right. 3 sub-questions.
One more
go ahead. Sure.
Yeah. So just adding one more to it. How many emails can I send per month? Is it only to the members or leads, or I can send as many emails as I want?
Okay.
So 4 questions clubbed together.
Sure. So the first question was about, I wrote it down, like email autoresponder generally.
Yeah.
Could you repeat the first question again, Sampath?
The first question is about the emails that are being hosted on Kyvio.
Okay.
Does it have like powered by Kyvio, or is it going to? Yeah.
Got it. So thank you for those questions, and really good questions. I like whoever asked them is really thorough. I appreciate that. So when you are sending out an email, we don't have Kyvio branding anywhere in the email. Let's just put it like that. The only place we have it, and we need that to track the emails, is the link that you send out. So whatever link that you send out, because you want to track the opens and clicks and so on, we convert that into instamail1 dot something, or instamail2 dot something, instamail 3, 4, 5, 6, and so on. So in that sense, that's as far as we go in terms of branding. You use your own SMTP. We don't provide an SMTP for email marketing, because that's something we feel each vendor should be responsible for. At the end of the day, it is your business. It is your duty to get the best ROI from your email. So if you use your own SMTP, the one you like, there are cheap ones, expensive ones. We talk about all of those within our knowledge base, but we don't really put any kind of branding in place when you are emailing. That's the first thing. Now, the second question was about templates and uploading your own templates. I'm kind of from a different school of thought here, but I absolutely hate email templates, and I will explain why. So Stephen and I have done extensive studies on this. We've looked at emails from Amazon, eBay, these big vendors. What they do quite often is they use very cute-looking email templates. But here's the problem. When you start using email templates and you send an email to 1,000, 5,000, 10,000 people, Gmail especially, it looks at it and it instantly knows that this email is being sent to 50,000 people or 5,000 people. And to them, it's a big flag for promotion. So those emails, 100% of the time, land in promotions. They basically have no chance of landing in the primary inbox. I hate that. So I never use those design templates, because that's an immediate red flag for landing in promotion in primary box. So I prefer to use just plain text and /HTML emails. So we don't do any designs in Kyvio, and you can't upload your own. And quite honestly, I don't see designs being available until Gmail comes out and says that design emails are landing in inbox, because until they do, you're basically wasting your money emailing people. So again, we don't have design templates. We don't intend to, and you cannot upload your own either. In terms of how many emails you can send, that is entirely up to you. We do limit you based on how many emails you can hold within Kyvio under your account. But if you have 1,000 leads, you can mail them 10 times a day. You can mail them once a month. We really don't care. Because you use it on SMTP, you bear the cost for that. And if there's any negative or positive effect, you bear those. So that is entirely up to you. I will say, though, that we are quite vigilant about how people do email marketing with Kyvio. We've had a few people who have been spamming, and Steven's built an algorithm which was able to restrict their account just after the first mailing, in between the first mailing, because we realized that their emails just were terrible. So we do make sure that none of you suffer because of someone else within the system.
Makes sense. And how about like automation? Do you have any kind of automation where people who have not opened my previous email, I can send an automated follow-up email, or someone who clicks, they can receive a different set of emails? Is it possible to do within Kyvio?
Not at present, but that's a feature I myself want as well. So one of the features that I'm really looking forward to is one-click action. So if someone clicks on your link in the email, I would like to see the possibility of moving them into a different list. So I can tell you that is going to come most likely by the end of second quarter, but that's going to be exciting as well, because eventually the email marketing platform as well will be competing with the rest of the bigger platforms with its deep automations.
Gotcha. Okay. So David would like to know how to stack codes. He has redeemed one, but he would like to see how to redeem further codes. Well, David, I am sure you must have received the instructions, but if not, Neil, can you show that quickly?
Sure, of course. So if you go into your account, and I'm going to start from this because you see the new UI, just go here and click on, for the coupons, account settings. You need to go to account settings, and within the account settings, you will see this place called coupons, and we have a knowledge base article as well. Just put your coupon in here, apply code, and it will be applied to your account.
Great. Simple as that. Okay, so yeah, Katie would like to know, so it's going to be like a membership site, or is it going to be like a course site? It sounds more like the latter. Is it correct?
Which was the second one? The membership site?
Course website.
It will be like a course website. So if I show you this again, let me show you. And again, these are the current template. It's going to change in future. But just to show you this as well, this is a course we did recently. And if I view this one, yeah, there we go. So let's go in. And this is what, in essence, the sites will look like that you have content in. Sampath, is that okay?
Neil, we cannot hear you. Just the video right now.
Oh, sorry. But yeah, I was just saying the membership sites will look like this.
Okay. Yeah. So now that with AppSumo, you're going to get like a bunch of Indian customers as well. So are you planning on integrating with Razorpay or InstaMojo? Because these are two popular payment methods for Indians, especially to sell products to other Indians.
Sure. We do have, it's interesting, because our platform has quite a diverse crowd. So we have customers from Nigeria, some from India as well, a lot of them from Spain, like Latin America. So as always, any requests go in here. When we are ready to take on new requests, we will ask everyone to vote to what they want. If you are of our group as well, you can always post something in the feedback portal and ask people to vote for the idea. So really, at this stage, we're looking to service as many customers as we can. And if there are a lot of Indian customers, it's a big if. But if there are, then we'll be looking at how many customers require something, and we'll be building something based on those requirements.
Great. And how about VAT? So how are you going to deal with that?
Exactly. So with the upcoming EU GDPR regulation things, we will have to work with them. And then also when Smart Products is ready, where we'll do deep integration with both PayPal and Stripe, we will be building in eventually the capability of VAT collection as well.
Great. So Simon, you have a question. Could you please merge my 3 accounts or deactivate 2 so I can do it?
Simon, please mail support desk because this is not something I can sort on this call right now.
Yeah. So there's like only a couple more questions to go through. Are these membership websites mobile responsive?
Oh, they look awesome on mobile. I mean, they look really, really cool on mobile. I wish I could show you because, I mean, obviously I can't do mobile share right now. But Stephen and I were looking at it yesterday because another customer asked, and they look beautiful on mobile. I'll leave it at that. But I can even maybe share some logins with you, Sampath, if you want to pass them to people and they can kind of log in and see what it looks like on mobile. Is that okay?
Sure. Sounds good.
Okay.
Yeah. And can I deactivate your coupon code or can I use a different account? Miguel, I think the 1 second that has to go to the support desk.
Yeah, please. It's a bit technical to answer as well. So I think it's best you work with the support. So we've had a lot of people with these merging accounts or deactivating codes and whatnot. We didn't plan for all of this, that people were going to have so many different accounts eventually with us, but it's happened. So if anything comes up, you have to be patient because it's something that was not supposed to happen, but it's happened. So we'll deal with that via support desk, getting the developers involved.
Great. So one final question: how good is Kyvio as a blogging platform? Like when compared to in terms of like optimizing website for SEO, social media, like using social media plugins so that I can easily share, or any visitor they can share it on their social accounts. So on all those fronts, how good is Kyvio's blogging platform?
It is not as good as WordPress blogging platform. And I just want to be transparent there. I don't want to promise you to stop using WordPress and move to Kyvio Blog Builder because it's just not as, SEO optimized as WordPress is. Because if you think about WordPress, it's a big ecosystem. There are a lot of plugins. A lot of them are crap, but some of them are good. So it kind of works out in the end. With Kyvio, it's a very much... when it comes to blog building, it's very much in its infancy. And eventually, like I said, we'll get to it and we'll make it better. But we don't intend to do that for at least 9 months because our focus is really on other modules. So if you're buying it just for the blog builder, don't. But if that's an extra addition that you want to use, sure, do that. I mean, again, just to be fully transparent, even Kyvio's own blog that we're building at the moment is being built on WordPress. And that's just because I personally wouldn't put my entire business inside of Kyvio blog. For a side business, we are doing that already. But because Kyvio generates, about, just the platform itself generates about, I think, 50-60% of our revenue, I don't want to put our blog in Kyvio at the moment because it's not ready for that.
Great. Thanks for being so transparent. I very much appreciate that. Yeah. And thank you, Vesa. Is that how I pronounce your name? I guess. Yeah. So I think you are talking to Neil and Steven. It's not Mark, it's Steven, by the way. Yeah. So just to be clear, guys, I think I'll turn on my cam. So just to make it very clear, you can use CMY to build your own website or for your clients, or you just have to put up a blog quickly. You can use Symboly for all of that. And if you have Landingy, it's good to collect leads. The product is really good. I can talk about for all these 3 because I use all 3 of them. And Kyvio comes in when you want to build a membership website or you want to build a whole funnel, not just collect leads. So you want to collect leads or sell digital products, or you want to put up like a whole funnel where you're going to have an upsell, a downsell, all those things, use Kyvio. That's how I'm currently categorizing my stuff. So I would recommend you to try out the same. Great. So I guess I have covered all of your questions. If not, I'll be sharing this replay in the group. say within an hour or two. And then if there are any further questions that we missed out or something you missed to ask, please feel free to ask your questions in the group. Neil or Steven will be happy to answer over there. And thank you so much for everyone for attending, and thank you so much Neil and Steven for being spending extra time to give a really good walkthrough and answering all the questions. Thank you so much for that.
Of course. Thanks for having us here.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Cheers, guys.